Right, well, we just had an epic, epic, epic F up, right? So, yeah, hi, good evening, good afternoon, grand rising. What an absolute nightmare we've just had. We've just totally went into the show, done like 20 minutes chatting, realised that we weren't actually live. Well, we were live, it was just unlisted. So, yeah, hold on a wee second. I'm going to see if I can get James back in. Bear with me a wee second. I hope that you can hear me, see me. I don't even know if I'm live. Ha! Probably just chatting to myself again. But hold on, I'm going to paste this to Jamesy. Close that down. Close this down. This has been an absolute nightmare, but I'll get there, I'll get there, I'll get there. Let's see. I'm alive, baby. I'm alive. Oh, God. Like we just right, we are live, but we've got the wrong thumbnail. But
Close
that
this
doesn't matter.
down.
Yeah, I'm
This
there.
has been an absolute
Right,
nightmare, but I'll get there, I'll get there, I'll get
right. If James comes into the room, then we're fine. Nobody's gonna know that it's here. I'm gonna have to do a post. Hold on. Create. Oh, a post. New link up now. Sorry. Right. Post. So I need to go and get the link. Then share it on the other one that's maybe still live. I don't even know. Oh, look, it says upcoming. Right. Share, copy, go to this one. Put the link in here. This is funny. Paste. Right, there we go. New link. Right, James, sorry, give me 2 seconds. Let me see where you are. Oh, oh, it's not there yet. That's fine. Stress, 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 stress. Yeah, this is what happens when you've used something for like 3 years and then you decide one day you're going to change your whole platform and then it just epically fails. Jamesy, where are you? Where are you, James? I'm going to materialize you. Come back. I've sent a link. Yeah, I was pure like, that's it. Gives my ball back. I'm going home. One of them. Yeah, so we were totally talking about quantum death theory. God, we've just literally done a 20-minute stream and we were unlisted. Yes. So we were sitting chatting away and I'm like, how's nobody commenting? Like, why is there only like one person? And I'm like, no, wait a minute, I need to check this out. So when I check on Studio, the studio's like, yeah, there's James and Zoe chatting away. I'm like, oh, we are live. So I left it another 5-10 minutes and I'm like, nah, wait a minute, we're not live. Like, hold on, let's see if James is there yet. Nope. Um, so yeah, we've just done half a stream and we were unlisted. Only me. Only me. It's all good. We're getting there. This is just literally a test. So James is going to come back into the room. I am hoping. Let me see where he is. Because I just went like, he's my ball back. I'm going home. Uh, hold on. Cancel. Last one sent. There we go. Shoot. Oh. Here we go. Right, I think we're all right now, James, right? Hold on, let's see. Show on stream. Speak, James. Didn't he wind me up?
It's
Oh,
too.
you
It's.
froze.
Did I freeze?
Yeah, but you're fine now. You're fine now. You're fine now. Oh
Oh
my
gosh.
God. James, what a stress that. I'm sure that was a quantum death moment. And we both got zapped on the podcast and we both died. And then we came back and we're like, woo.
I'm thinking it's more the people that control the narrative didn't want us talking about quantum death because they want us to believe that when we die, everything's over and we better work our asses off to enjoy this one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, quantum death really, like we were just saying. Honestly, guys, you couldn't be. I'm like, no, we are not live, James. There is no comments. We have nobody watching. So yeah, we just completely epically messed up. But it's all good. We're
Yeah,
learning. It's
because
a
you
learning
just put
curve.
up a 12-minute video and that got the first gist of what we were talking about.
Exactly. If only I'd saved it. I'm just going to make sure. See, I need to take that link down then, the one that's up there. Hold on. I'm going to delete our other one, okay? God, how do I even do that? Right, hold on. Content, and then I'll just have to delete it because people are going to be. Then they'll come and look for us,
Right.
won't they? In another quantum time. Right,
And on
delete
the same
forever.
bat time, same bat channel, but a different bat time and
Exactly.
a different bat channel.
Oh, see, look, live replay, testing new Yeah, I've got us, but we're unlisted. Oh well, 13 minutes we just bloody done. Ha! It's all good. It's
Yep,
all good.
it was good. It was good.
It was great. It's totally
Hey,
thrown me. It's totally thrown me. But yeah, please kind of basically explain what the quantum death theory is.
okay, so
Again.
basically, the quantum death theory is like, well, let me start a different way, actually. So, you believe in your higher self, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, your higher self, in my opinion, is the most perfect version of Zoe that can exist in all timelines, anywhere at all,
Right?
right? And we hear people say that there's multiple timelines all running at the exact same time, and time isn't linear, etc.
Right?
So we all say have a predetermined or a predestined way in which we're going to die in our life. So let's use the example 80 years old, dies of a heart attack, right?
Right?
For both of us. So just to digress a second, we've all had, say, near death experiences, right? We almost
Mm-hmm.
got hit by a tram or we got into a bad car crash. And when you see the car crash afterwards, you're like, oh my God, I never should have walked away from that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
Well, the quantum death theory, as far as I can understand it, would be you actually died in that car crash. But
Okay.
because it wasn't the way you were supposed to die, you just get instantaneously transformed or moved to an alternate timeline into the pre-existing Zoe.
Right, okay.
So you still have you're still living in your new flat and you still have your cats and your rabbit. There's no massive changes because you wouldn't recognize them at first or at all. Same
Right.
as the people that are living in that timeline, they might not necessarily see a difference in you because those timelines are so close together.
Right, okay.
So, car crash happens, Zoe dies. In this timeline, we have to continue living like, oh my God, we've lost Zoe. How horrible. What a blessing this was, etc.
Mm-hmm.
That we had her for the short period of time, and we grieve your loss and we celebrate your life.
Mm-hmm.
But because it isn't the way you were supposed to die at 80 years old of a heart attack, you just, boom, are living as Zoe in the timeline that was closest to the one you're in now.
Okay. I get
That's,
that. I get that, but then you'd have to. I mean, I believe in timelines and I believe in timeline jumps and stuff, but then has it been proven that there is such a thing as timelines? Plus, you couldn't actually test this theory because you would have to die.
well,
So is
and on
that.
that, even if you died, if it wasn't the predetermined way or the way you were supposed to die, and you did quantum die and end up in another timeline, you wouldn't remember being here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right, like the for the people that believe that we came here and we lived here before but we have a veil to forget so that we can't remember everything.
Yeah,
and people go and get like Akashic records read and things like this to try and
yeah,
figure out
absolutely.
more about their previous lives, etc. So I think like with a quantum death theory, previous lives could be in the solitary, in the singularity life of Zoe, if by chance quantum death happened.
Yeah, it reminds me very much of like the way that I look at like your soul tribe. I believe in reincarnation. I believe that we all come back and we all were either already with the soul tribe, so like our mums, our family unit, excuse me, and then we meet up with further ones. Like I could have been your mum in a past life, but we've met through like the internet and here we are. Excuse me, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat, which usually means spirit, funnily enough. It's really mad, and the more I'm speaking, it's going.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Or
So,
it's like saying when like a family member has a child and they have the same smirk that your grandmother had.
yeah, but
And
they've
it's just
not
like,
even
oh
met.
my
I.
God, she's so much like
Yeah,
who would have been her great
yeah,
great grandmother.
yeah.
Right. And people could, you could believe that potentially the great grandmother chose to come back in that child.
It's like Craig, my co-host only cans. I'm convinced that I've been probably his big sister in a last life. Like, I'm very protective of Craig, but I'm also that little like I've got to have the digs, if you know, not digs, nasty, but it's our like banter. Like, so
Right.
I totally feel that we have definitely known each other, or we've been twins even in a last life, like siblings. There's a what Jesse was probably my granddad or something like that. But it's like, you
Right.
meet people and you're like, you have so many things in common that you're like, we were meant to have met. Like yourself and Sam, when you and Sam met, it was just like, wow, where have you been? It's that
Yeah.
soul tribe. And that's what I felt that when I was very briefly looking into the quantum death theory. Um, it reminded me of the resonation of that yeah, it's not just one life, one soul, we're dead and that's it forever. There's no way that that's
Yeah.
it. It can't be, James. It can't be, as you say, things further down the line, like your child really likes a song that your granny used to like, and but you're like, how would they know that? They've never heard the song, and just yeah, little things like that
Yeah.
show me that there's definitely something more than just one life, one time. But the
Exactly.
quantum thing is blowing my mind.
Right.
Like, I don't
That's
know.
exactly it. And it's like theoretically it's quite beautiful as
Oh,
it relates
absolutely.
to the creator and the source, right, and the collective, because if you weren't meant to die that way, the creator and the source make sure that
Make sure.
that
Yeah,
focus continues on by just zapping you to the next timeline,
yeah.
right? Like I was saying, uh, 2 winters ago, I was going out to Pete the Greek's place, and on my front steps, it was icy because I'd just been lazy and I hadn't busted away all the ice off the steps, and I slipped. And I remember
Mm.
seeing my feet come up over my head, and I was looking at my feet over my head, and my brain thought this isn't going to end well. Well, the next thing you know, I was standing flat on my feet
Wow.
and
Wow.
I was looking and I was just like, what the heck? And I got in the car and I was like, Pete, man, did you see that? And he goes, see what, bud? Sorry, I was on my phone. I was like, bro, I just bailed on the ice and my feet were up above my head. I should have landed on the back of my neck
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
stairs. I was like, but some miraculous way, my feet got turned and I landed flat on my feet, bro.
Wow.
I was like, as if some angel was protecting me in gymnastics school as I'm
Mm-hmm.
flipping over the box horse. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, man, I can't really explain this. And he goes,
Wow.
yeah, man, don't know what to tell you, but I didn't see it. And I was like, oh, you know? And when I
Um,
heard this quantum death theory, I thought of that moment instantly of
yeah,
like,
okay.
man, because people have said to me over the last several years, like, dude, you've got a higher purpose,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff from your past led you to be this human being you are now, and your content is helping people, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made me really think that, I was really putting a shift in my life when this happened. And I say it was a couple of years ago. It might have been 5 years ago,
Mhm.
but it's since I got sober that that moment happened, at least like from the alcohol. So within the last 6 years, at least. But it did. It resonated with me, and I got these goosebumps down the back of my neck, and I was like, "Bro, you probably died. You probably
Totally.
died when you flipped off those stairs, and you just timeline shift
Mhm.
through quantum death, and that's why
Mhm.
you just remember falling, or I'm gonna fall, and then you were flat on your feet safely,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it was just like, this could be potentially a real thing. And
Mhm.
sure, it can't be proven. Thankfully, all you people out there, this 100% cannot be proven. Take it from me, a person who knows nothing about it.
Mhm.
But don't go testing this theory.
No.
Keep
No.
looking both ways before you cross the street, because even if quantum death is real, we will suffer your loss here in this timeline. We don't all timeline shift. We
Yes.
still lose that loved one.
That's what was get right. Thank you for saying that because that's what was throwing me. Because I'm like, right, I'm a mum with a son and I've got a mum. So if I was to pass away on this timeline, that's giving them proper grief. But then on the next timeline, they're all right because I'm still alive.
Yeah.
But the thought of them going through, do you know what I mean? So you're like myself, like, don't test this. Don't stick your fingers in the plug with wet fingers thinking, oh, I'm going to come back because,
Yeah.
it's not been proven. And there really is no way of proving it unless, I don't know, God.
No,
You're,
no, that's what makes it a great topic for discussion and a cool theory. But like a lot of theoretical stuff, it can't be proven. There's no sense in trying to even test it. Like,
well, we fat Shug has said, CERN, CERN, the thing that the
yep,
ship, the black particle thing. Anyway, we Fat Sugar said, I think CERN destroyed our stroke my timeline. To me, it seems like we were all foisted into a composite timeline, hence the Mandela effects. And do you know about the Mandela effects where
right.
like the logos and
Totally. I was going to be
words and
bringing it up. I was
yeah,
going to be
words and
bringing it up.
songs that confirms to me either a timeline thing, especially with the Fruit of the Loom one, because that's really annoying me that on their website there's no cornucopia, and I
Yep.
know for a fact I can remember it, I can see the one that I had, like, and I remember thinking, what is that? Like when we were younger, and just yeah, but they, as a company, are adamant that they've never had it in their logo.
I know. I know.
So
So,
what's going
thoughts on
on?
that? I believe that in a sense, yes, because I believe that as they've been figuring out CERN, that's
Mm-hmm.
why every year there's new Mandela effects coming into effect, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That sometimes what they're doing at the CERN at the Giant Hadron Collider, they have exploded everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but we weren't meant to die that way. So everybody
Hi.
quantum died and leaped into, man. That was a cool show, Quantum Leap, back in the day.
I
But
love that show. Oh,
right,
I
so
love that.
if planetary death for all creatures that were given to us through source and the creator get
Mm-hmm.
destroyed by some act of humanity or unhumanity, whichever you want to call it, we're not here to argue those facts or to discuss or debate those things. But what if when CERN was colliding some certain things, it did cause mass extinction of the planet?
Yep.
The creator source isn't going to allow something like that to happen to us,
No, totally.
right? So maybe that's kind of like a glitch in the matrix loop or whatnot that was given to us as human beings. When you died when you're not supposed to, you just get
Mm-hmm.
zoomed into a new timeline that was closest to the one you were living.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what
So
Chuck
yeah,
thinks. Chuck thinks we're
glitches in the matrix could be
aye.
such things
Yep.
where there's a reset happening, and some people are more maybe aware and
Yep.
happen to capture the moment
Yep.
and are able to continue and carry on through without as much of the veil of forgetfulness,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Maybe more enlightened people, or maybe just some lucky chosen ones, and they're like the ones that don't understand why they know shit. They just do.
Aye. Like the people that have like a head injury and then suddenly they can speak fluent Mandarin or like
Yeah,
Cantonese.
right.
Like
Yeah, or all of a sudden, they couldn't even read or write really, and next thing you know, they're writing like a super novel, like
Yeah.
a Pulitzer Prize winning novel, right?
Aye.
Or somebody
Aye.
that all of a sudden can paint like the most detailed
Mhm.
realism paintings where they never even had a paintbrush before, but they're like, well, kind of felt like painting one day and
Mhm.
painted this apple, and you're like, whoa, looks like you could eat that apple, and
Yep.
they're like, man, I know, knock my noggin, and now I'm a super painter.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Absolutely. It's
so
not
what if they
true.
actually knocked their noggin and died, but they don't fully can't comprehend it. And in this timeline, that it was so strong that they couldn't remember they were a painter. So
Yeah,
that carried
that's
through so that everyone in that timeline
yeah,
forgets that that
yeah,
person could paint all along.
yeah, yeah. There's so many components to it, eh? Because you'd have to think, well, the other people would have to jump their timeline as well to be in alignment with you. If you like, it's just all, yeah. Probably not the best thing to look up on a Sunday afternoon. When I'm like, oh
It's
shit,
totally a
I've
great
got
thing
a
to look
stream
up
in an hour.
On a Sunday afternoon. What else do you have to do right now? Then think about the fact that you got into a car accident. Potentially, somebody watching this right now got in a car accident when you were 16 years
Yep,
old and died,
yep,
and everyone
yep,
else lived and suffered your horrific death as a tragic child,
yep.
but you didn't. You just got
Mm-hmm.
timelined into this timeline, and now you're a 40-year-old human being, and you got 7 kids,
Yep,
and you're the happiest mom in the world, or the happiest dad in the world, or whatever. Like, who knows? This could have happened, and it's going to make everybody think that when they had a near-death experience, was it a near-death experience, or did they die and get
yeah,
quantum leaped into a new timeline that was
yeah,
closest to the one they were living?
yeah, totally. And that's why I feel every lifetime that we have, whether it be like a soul one or another human experience, if it, if the quantum thing is true as such, that we have like it's like a thumbprint every single time, and it's like we will always carry through things. It's like myself, like the thing, like my healing side of me, and the things that I really love, and the things that I stumble across, whether it be in a book, through a documentary, or a podcast, or anything that I pick up, and I'm like, oh, I feel it in my solar plexus, and it's that I'm taking that because that is true to me. It's like it feels
Yeah,
real and it feels true, and it's like even going better watch because on YouTube, but going back to the early 2020, we know what happened then. My gut told me that there was no virus. That like I was, but what did make my solar plexus flip over in fear was yeah.
anti-vaxxer, anti-vaxxer, anti-vaxxer.
Yes, I am, and I'm proud, mate. But yeah, I followed my gut. So things like your intuition and your gut instinct, knowledge, things that you pick up on, I feel that that's generations and generations and generations, and it's in our DNA. And that's why I
Yeah,
think it's super
ancestral
important
DNA.
that we are all alive at this time of our lives. Like our ancestors, and I say this a lot in our streams, they've went through wars, famines, like great poverty, destruction, and we're all sitting pretty cushy, and it's like there's a reason that we're all alive at this time, and our ancestors must all be behind us, rooting us on and everything. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy times.
Yeah, I did that
That's
video a couple years back when it was in that
good
crazy
man.
blizzard where I was like, don't give up. You're a
Oof.
survivor. And how do I know you're a survivor? I know you're a survivor because it's in your DNA.
Yeah.
Since the dawn of mankind,
Yep.
we have survived floods and famines and heat waves
Mhm.
and droughts and
Mhm.
earthquakes and tsunamis. We have our families have survived that.
Yep.
So it's in our DNA to be a survivor. Like my
Mhm.
brother and I don't have any children, and my dad was an only child. So like our bloodline's over when
Yeah.
me and my brother are no longer here. But bloodlines don't matter,
No, of course not.
they really don't. What matters is our
Well, they do the
our
dark people.
connection to the people that we love while we're alive and can remember them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's why I think, see, doing things like this, like being online, we're there forever. So my wee great grandkids will be like, oh, remember Granny Zoe? She was mental.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah, look how shit her channel was now. I'm only joking. But we're like
right.
literally here. We are, what's the word? Immortal. Literally immortal now. We've
You see,
immortalized ourselves. Do you like it?
interesting as you said, immortal. My brain was thinking about Charlie Kirk
Yeah.
and something that somebody had said about him. All politics aside, we're not going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
mention any of that.
Yeah.
But you see, parents. Somebody said this, and I'm. It's not my original thought, but somebody said parents are supposed to read to their children. And now Charlie Kirk's children are going to grow up having to read about their father,
Yeah.
right? And then you
Yeah.
said immortality, and that made me think too. You see, we grow up expecting to lose our parents at
Hmm.
some point or another, whether we're younger or as an infant, or whether we're a full grown human being when we
Hmm.
lose our parents. It's to
Hmm.
be expected, right? But when a parent loses their child, I think the reason why it's so much harder is because the parents lose their chance at immortality when they lose their child.
Yeah.
And for anyone
Yeah.
out there that's lost a child, I'm sorry. And I believe that your child is in a better place because they're probably have quantum death to a new timeline where life is Gucci.
Yeah.
You know, we've suffered their loss here, but through the quantum death theory, you could believe that your child didn't completely die. They just died here and they went on to another timeline where they're actually going to live a long, healthy life with all kinds of success. So I like that in a sense that this quantum death theory could bring comfort to people that have lost loved ones.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But I'm also, like you're saying, we've all got like our soul contract and whatever we go through, we're meant to go through, eh? So even if we're meant to go through shit, we're meant to go through shit. We call it karma or just life lessons. Like even the really heavy shit. It's like, see, somebody said to me the other day, like, with this digital ID, I'm not going to get political stuff, but with the digital ID that's hitting the UK, it won't be long before it's like you've got the V or you've not. So it's gonna be like that. And I was like, do you know what? If they come to my door and say you're going to a concentration camp if you don't take this, I'd be like, take me because that's clearly meant to be. It must be in my soul contract that I am meant to just like because I will always
Yeah,
stay true to myself. I'm not giving up on anything like that.
man.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, so there's so many aspects to the quantum theory thing because I believe everything what you're saying within your soul because your soul never dies. Your soul always comes back, always comes back. But it's interesting to think of it in a human perspective,
right.
if you get me, because even with the quantum death theory, you still age. You still get older. So if you keep doing the timeline jumps, you're still aging. So
Right, but how
what
many near
what
death experiences do you think a person has in life?
well what defines the final death?
Well, you're predetermined that
That soul
when you came
contract,
here
that
for,
like you're gonna die on that.
yeah,
Aye,
like you're
okay.
gonna die at 80 of a heart attack.
Yeah, okay.
Can't be
Yeah.
taken away from you,
Yeah.
right? And you're meant to live certain this life as Zoe to learn certain lessons. So
Yeah.
I like to relate this to the egg. And we watched the egg together here on
Yes.
the channel, right?
Yes.
How
Yes.
the creator source, when the young energy says, so I'm like you, and he goes, well, not yet. First
Yes.
you have to live every life in every timeline,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So you have to live the timeline of Zoe lives to 80 and has a heart attack. And you
Yeah.
might never have a near death experience or quantum death experience,
I have had one or two already, like in my lifetime, so
right?
yeah.
But I mean, not everyone will,
Yeah.
in a sense,
That they're
right?
aware of. That they're aware of.
That's
You
true. But
know?
some people might live a perfectly safe life, and
Yeah.
not have car crashes, not have heavy, crazy falls downstairs or
True.
whatnot, right? So they
True.
might. live this life uninterrupted to the timeline in which they were supposed to live.
Yep. Yep.
Where others, like say myself, with the falling off the stairs, potentially, I
Yeah.
believe that I could be a person who was blessed with a quantum death
Mhm.
certificate. I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
sorry, bud, you died, but you weren't supposed to, so we're sending you right back. Whoosh! And you're like,
Eh,
what the fuck just
I
happened?
know. I know. I know.
Right?
Imagine
So you
then.
might actually experience the death and the whole go through because time
Mhm.
doesn't exist. Time isn't linear.
Yep.
So I
Absolutely.
died there falling off the stairs, and Pete
Yep.
gets out of his truck. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. He's calling 911. And he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? In the meantime, I'm up in heaven and they're like, hey man, welcome back, bro. You know,
Totally.
it's so good to see you, but sorry, you are not supposed to be here yet.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to throw on the forgetful hat again and
Mhm.
send you right back. And that's it. You're back on your flat on your feet with a deep breath, and you're like, whoa,
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
or say you're swimming. Somebody out there was swimming and you jumped off a dock and the current took you and you went under and you get to the surface and you're like, holy jeez, man, I almost didn't make it there. And you make it to the side of the shore. Maybe you didn't. Maybe
Mhm.
you actually sank to the bottom and floated away, but the creator, the source, was like, nope, sorry, wrong time. Bring you back up to the surface, bud. Have a deep breath of air, push you to the shore. And you're like, man, the last thing I remember was sinking in that river. And next thing you know, I was like, oh, and I was on the shoreline.
Totally. I wonder how
I'm
many
telling
people have
you,
actually died testing this out. Like, well, everybody that's tested it out's died.
right. And
I'm
how many of
sorry.
them maybe were supposed to? Maybe it was their
Yeah.
predestined thing of like, look,
Yeah.
man, you're
That
gonna
that
go
was your
down there,
day.
and they tell
Aye.
you before you even get here. They're
Aye.
like, "Hey, man, check this out, son. You're gonna
Aye.
go down there. You're gonna hear about this quantum death theory. You're gonna get obsessed with it. You're gonna, I'm gonna try this, and you're gonna jump off a bridge." You know,
Absolutely.
and a lot of people are gonna be sad, but a lot of people are gonna be like, "Man, that guy was a fucking idiot." You know, like,
Totally.
oh, he thought he
It
could fly. Why didn't he take off the ground like a duck? You know what I mean?
totally. No, no, it does. It makes you start thinking of other things, and it still all ties in with each other, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
so I just really want to say hi to Lady Cat, to Hoax, to Paul from Newcastle, to Catherine Hutton, because you guys have been having little chats, and we Fat Shug as well. It's because it's a different setup. I can't show comments on the screen yet. I will work out how to do that because there is a way to do that. Basically every comment should come up, but I've just come on guys, it's
Well,
like my first proper
thank you
stream of
guys
it.
for being here, and anybody who's watching in the after, in the replay crew, thank you for being here. Um, we'd really love to hear your thoughts. Is this something you've
Absolutely.
heard of before? Is this something that you might consider believing in? Because if we believe it, it can be true,
Well,
right? Because
Catherine
it's
made a
our
good
truth,
point.
our reality.
Do you remember Catherine had a really horrific car crash and she said
Yeah,
it was like slow motion? And I've done that myself when something you're like, oh my God, that actually happened in slow motion. Like, I
yep,
wonder, yeah, that could definitely tie into it as well, eh? Because it's like that timeline jump sort of thing. And
yep.
Lady Cat also said that
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Before that, wasn't there an old man that died in that car wreck?
it turned out he didn't,
Oh, okay.
which,
Okay. Because
which
I was
could
going to say, what if he died here, but he didn't actually die? He got zoomed because, but I mean, he was a sketchy old dude, man. Well, maybe he wasn't sketchy. I use that word
James
really
and his
wrongly
yes,
for
you've
the
been using
entire world
sketchy
out
a
there.
lot.
I use sketchy as like a term of endearment. Like, my
That's
ex used to
funny.
say, James, just because you say the ghetto is nice and safe doesn't mean the ghetto is nice
I love
or
that.
safe.
I love
And
that.
she's like, and for your information, sketchy isn't a good thing. You can't be like, oh man, you'll love my buddy Tim. He's sketchy as
He's so
fuck.
sketchy.
She's
I'd be
like, that
like,
makes
all
people
right.
go like, I don't want to meet your sketchy buddy. Like,
Nah, especially not in Scotland. Like sketchy's are purely, oh, he's sketchy. You'd be like, aye, nah, like nah,
right. But I
sketchy's
like to
pretty
use
bad.
it in its, I like to use it in its opposite.
He was in a coma for 3 months, Catherine saying that chap that was in the other automobile. Automobile,
Okay.
bloody car. You're Scottish, so. Lady Cat was also pushed downstairs and should have died, but didn't, and had the same kind of thing with you on the stairs.
Maybe you did die. Maybe you were
Exactly.
mangled as fuck at the bottom of those stairs. But because the creator and the source believed that your life was not meant to go that way, they were like,
Aye,
wait a minute. Nope. Zoop, poof.
aye,
And they put
aye.
you right back here in a
No, that's
different
true.
timeline,
I
you know?
know.
Or how about this? You know how people say taste change? What if that's something you might have noticed? Like,
Mm.
before you quantum died, you were like, man, you know what? I really don't like grape jelly.
Yeah,
You
I used
know,
to like spicy food, and now I can't eat spicy food. And
right?
it
See, maybe
was,
you quantum death leaped,
yeah,
and
because it
in
was
this
when I was
timeline, Zoe can't
pregnant.
handle the spice.
When I was pregnant with Dylan, I really went off spice, and I was like, oh, it was like my tongue became really sensitive.
Yeah,
And my sense of smell went up. And usually that happens when you're pregnant, but usually when you give birth, it goes away. Oh no, mine's has never left me. My sense of smell is crazy. I can smell things from miles away. Which also makes me think that it was probably in the tribes hundreds and hundreds of years ago. I would be the person that like, don't eat that meat because it's off, or like they're just about ready to harvest. I'd be quite useful that way.
I'm
Or I would
thinking it was more of, oh, the
ego.
wine is almost ready to drink.
Have to try a little bit more. Hold on. I'm not sure. I need another smell. That would be me.
Wait, wait,
I
I have
think
to
it's
test this
ready.
to make sure it's not poison.
Exactly. I think it's okay. Need to test it again. I'd be eating all the steaks. I'd be like, no, I don't think you should eat this
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I think this
That's
bacon's a little off.
exactly. Brilliant, eh? Brilliant. Aye. No,
That's it.
exactly.
I'd say
Just
like
weird things.
if I could choose a previous life, right? Because we all can in a sense. It's a previous life. We can make it up. I have a love for cake. And anyone who knows me
Really?
knows how much
Really?
I love cake. I'll bet
Totally.
you in a previous life I was like a cake tester,
Oh, aye.
you
Or
know,
just a
like
big
testing
fat
cakes to see if
bastard.
they were perfect
So
yet. Like, oh no, this needs a little bit more sugar. This needs more egg. And I was
yeah.
helping figure out the frostings and stuff. And I was probably, yeah, like 400 pounds.
Or maybe you worked in like Willy Wonka chocolate factory or something like that, and you were just like a big
Maybe I
confectioner.
was the head Oompa Loompa.
Ah, oompa, oompa, oompa doo. Any day. I can tell it's getting to that time of the night for me. I'm
Yeah.
usually in my bed by now, guys. It's 10 past 8.
Yeah,
Like I'm going
it's
to
she's
do
getting
this.
old, you know. She's got to have her cushions and her Afghan blanket and her
My big
cup of
sheepskin.
herbal, yeah, her herbal tea.
And I'm going to have a bath after this too. Proper granny style with my wee pillow. I've got a bath pillow.
That's
Watching.
priceless.
But I do need it.
That's
But yeah.
priceless.
Kid. I'm like literally turning into a granny, but I quite like that. I quite like that stage of life that I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I've got my bath, I've got my pillows, I've got my sheepskin. Like comforts, home, security, safety. It's very important to me. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
love my house. But I've been going out more. I went out, I really pushed myself today, James. I was proud of myself. I was like, Zoe, it's beautiful. It's Sunday. Just go out on your scooter and go to Camel. And I did. And I keep bumping into really nice old couples, just wee old couples. And we start chatting. And they're like, yeah. And it confirms to me that you really, really, oh, there's Deanne Daly, Zoe, want to say hi to you both. Much love to you, honey.
Awesome. Thanks for
And
joining us.
I know exactly. Because StreamYard's so different. It's not like comments, comments, comments. It's like I have to actually go and look for them. So I feel like I've been rude, but I'm not being
Yeah,
rude. I'm
Deanna's
just
awesome, man. I have big love for her and my friend Teresa in the UK and England as well. I love you guys all. Well, I love everybody, you know, but I love
yes.
some of you more than I love strangers, you know?
Woo! So please get over if you love James back. Go over to his channel on TikTok and on YouTube. It is James Collins Cares because we love you. And
You know what? I had this feeling too with this topic, Zoe. At first, you're like, well, you're like, as you said, you didn't really know anything about it. And I bet your brain was like, how are we going to turn this one little theory into like an entire conversation? But as you can see, like I've linked this quantum death theory to the egg, to the
Yeah,
Matrix, to the Mandela effect, to
absolutely.
CERN.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
I and like,
There's so
man,
many
I get
aspects.
goosebumps from a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I
That's just
mean?
so
So something just
definitely.
tells me that there might be something to this, that we might be, like I say, we might be blessed with a quantum death certificate. It's like a ride for free, you know,
Hey,
and they're limited. And not everybody gets them,
no,
right?
it's
And it
true.
doesn't mean I'm special or than somebody else, etc., etc. I'm just for comedic humor and
No, of
content where
course.
I was lucky enough to get one, you
No, of
know?
course. I mean, that's the thing. You do get people that are like really spawny bastards, as we'd call them in Scotland, that have accident after accident after accident and survive them, survive them, survive them. So that would make sense. Who's to say that they survived them every time? But in our timeline, they
Right.
did or they didn't. Like, yeah, that's like a pure LSD conversation.
Somebody even
Whoa,
commented on to me in
man.
private, like that's not a conversation for some LSD. And I was like, 7 days and 40 hits later, you know, as they come
Totally.
crawling in back out into the light from their,
Totally. Did I die?
and they're like,
Am I
whoa,
alive?
God, you know what? I'll bet you whoever came up with this theory was tripping balls on some ayahuasca or something.
Aye. It's
and,
like Fear
and
and
a
Loathing in
goddess
Las
or a god
Vegas.
came down upon to them and said, you need to share the world quantum death theory to bring healing to those suffering from the loss of their loved ones when they say, oh, they died too young,
I
they
love that.
died too young.
I love that. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's
Like
that is
there's
legit
definitely
why I
something in it.
wanted to talk about this message, because that's what I believe. And I believe in us trying to heal, and grieving is something that a lot of us have a really hard time doing,
Aye. I think so. I
right?
think grief. I was saying that to you. Yeah, it was the other day we were having a call and, we're talking about like emotion being stored deeply and grief. Grief
Yeah.
never leaves you. Like you can't heal from grief. Like you can, but you can't. Like it's something that'll never leave you no matter what, Like, yeah, so but you have to be kinder to yourself and accept that. And that's just doing a little bit more shadow work of just saying, I have had a lot of losses and, I have got to accept ways that like I think we're just programmed to be completely fine and I've no worries and I can deal with everything. Like that's not being healed. That's denying your shadow self. Keep running
Yeah.
away from your shadow self and be all toxic positivity. You're gonna fall flat on your face, mate. Might not be now,
Yeah,
be 5, 10 years
the
down the line.
opposite of the people that live as a victim their whole life.
Yeah, yeah. People
You
love it
know?
though. Some people thrive on it. Like they love
Yeah,
the attention. And it's people
yeah,
like us that are genuine good people that get drained from that because we'll keep helping and helping and helping. But do you remember a couple of years ago, I did say to you, some people don't deserve our help. And you were like, no, no, no. And I think further down the line, you're actually beginning to see that there is people that will soak you dry for your light. They'll keep coming
right.
for
It doesn't.
ego
It still
reasons and
doesn't
that.
mean that they don't deserve our help.
No, they do
That's
deserve our
all I'm saying.
no, there's deserve, that's completely different. Everybody deserves help, but I don't help the people that will constantly come to me with the same issue over
Right.
and over and
Yeah, yeah.
over.
Like if they're not going to
That's
help themselves at
insanity.
all, I won't be an enabler.
That's insanity. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Come to me with
Right.
different
Yeah. There's a
things.
difference. Yeah. There's a
Absolutely.
huge difference.
Absolutely. And that's where I've just learned to be like, right, wait a minute, who's the fool here? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. Sorry, I'm
It's
just
like you
seeing
said. You're like, I
comments.
can't come over there and visit you because I won't be able to get back on an airplane because I'll be so fat from eating all the food you make.
All the
You
cake
know?
that you make.
I
Hey,
was like, well, I will be an enabler.
yeah,
Like if I I will
totally.
eat half the cake. If you eat the other half, that's on you.
Aye, but I have no willpower when it comes to food. Like Dylan cannot keep his sweeties or treats in a cupboard in my vicinity because they shout on me. So
Yeah.
then puts them in his room, and I just go in the room and take them. Nah, I'm only joking. Like, what's he got? What's he got? Has he got a wee? Oh, there's a wee Haribo. Right, I'll have a couple of them, and I just take a couple out the packet. Nom, nom, nom. And I'm like a wee hamster. and my wee chicks
Yep.
didn't run away. But no, I've been really good. I've not been buying any shit. I've been eating a lot healthier. I've been eating more protein, more meat just on its own. Tonight I was bad and had a wee bit rice. But sorry, I wasn't bad and had rice. God's sake, Zoe, calm down. It wasn't a doner kebab.
Yeah,
Um,
I forget how many billion Asian people there are.
yeah, but there's no nutrition in rice, supposedly. It's not good for you. Well, it's not that it's not good. It's not that it's not good for you. It's just not good for you. Does that make sense? It's not bad for you. It's just not good for you.
I'm just
It's
gonna say
late.
like
I need
India,
my bed.
India, Pakistan, Thailand, China, Japan, all the rest of Asia, because I'm no geography expert. But like those cultures have been eating rice with almost every meal for like 10,000 years.
Yeah, but they don't have much other choice, do they? They've got all the
Well,
rice
I'm sure
fields.
they do with today's day and age. They could grow other food, but they choose not to.
They
There's
could have
probably a
some
reason for
tatties.
it.
Some tatties.
It's like people with cannabis. They're like, oh, if it's not 20 some percent THC, well, there's other things in cannabis that are good for us that aren't just THC.
Oh, absolutely. Like CBD on
So
its
like
own
rice,
is,
they can be like, well, rice isn't good for you because it doesn't have this, or this.
yeah,
Well, maybe it has all these other benefits that don't have to do with nutritional value.
it fills you up quick. It fills you up quite well. That's why I like rice. Um, But yeah, I put peas in it as well. Put like petit pois, some frozen petit pois, and some pilau rice seasoning mix, which is like coriander and cumin and garlic and very
Yep,
nice. So I'm
very,
going to
very
finish that,
nice.
and then I'm going to have a bath with my bath bomb and not set the fire alarm off this time by keeping the door closed. How
Yep,
to ruin your total relaxation. And I'm naked and I'm oily and I'm like, and I've got to find a two-step ladder. So I've got to find that behind my door, get it, go up the bloody ladders naked, mind, boop, press the thing and hope to God it works because I've never done it and it stopped. And I was like, oh, but that was it. I was already from my zenness up to 150. I just couldn't. I think I went back in the bath for like 5, 10 minutes and I was like, I'm done. I just,
yeah,
yeah, messed with my
yeah.
happiness. So,
You
not a
wrecked
hot
it,
bath.
fire alarm.
Hey, like,
Yeah, I made a beautiful chicken stock yesterday that I'm going to use to
ooh.
make some red lentil soup.
Ooh, nice, nice. Dinny, that's wholesome food. That's
Yeah.
wholesome soul food, mate. That's good.
Well,
And you
I
can
went to
freeze
put my
that too.
kilt on when Corinne was up last time because we were going to go for a walk. And I was like, hey, you know what? It's a nice fall day. I'll wear my kilt,
Hell yeah.
air out my bits and pieces.
Hell yeah.
And I had to suck in my gut to get it to clip. And
Ah!
then when I unsucked my gut, I was like, I can't walk in this. So
Wow.
uh, I realized that I need to lose about an inch or about 10
Okay.
pounds,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So I got to eat less cake and more lentils, you know?
Less cake, more lentils. Less cake, more
Yeah, it's
lentils.
like, oh, it's the month of lentil. And they're like, I think it's Lent. And I think it's a while ago. I was like, not the month of Lent, the month of lentils. I'm too
Lentils.
fat to wear my kilt. I need to eat lentils for a month.
Exactly. Oh my God. That's I don't have like scales. I just gauge by clothes. Like yourself, if something's too tight, I'm like, right, no, I need to yeah. But living on a second floor is really good for me because I've lost weight because I'm obviously going up and downstairs. So that has a knock-on effect. If my mum says I've lost weight, then I've definitely lost weight because she never says that unless I've actually lost weight. So I'm going
Right.
with that. I'm going
And,
with it.
then I know it comes down to tone of voice when they say, "Oh, it looks like you've lost weight," or like, "Oh, it looks like you've lost some weight," like you've been doing
Uh,
something sketchy
aye,
instead of
aye,
eating,
I've lost
you
a bit
know.
weight.
Or
You've lost a
"Oh,
bit
you look
weight.
like you've lost some weight. Have you
Yeah,
been eating better or
yes,
exercising more?"
yes.
Rather than, it looks like you've been out smoking fucking crack all weekend.
I
Like,
can. Exactly. No, my mum says when she can see both my dimples, that's when she knows that I've lost weight and you can see both my dimples. It's just because
yeah,
I feel a bit better about myself. I've been more active. Plus, I don't have a chippy around the corner that would I would be bad for being like, oh, like I've got 2 hours to a stream. I've not got time to make food. I'll go round at the chippy and I'd get something really bad. I don't have that option anymore because I'm like right in the middle of nowhere. So it's really good. Like no
yeah,
deliveries. I've had like 2 deliveries in 8 weeks, which is amazing. And
nice.
I'm cooking a lot more. I'm enjoying the food, and yeah, just yeah, all goes hand in hand. To be fair, and I think tonight my little video of me up in the woods and stuff today, that should be going live. But if you remember, you can watch it already because you remember. Not like
Yeah,
James and
and if you're
Craig.
not a member, you can't watch it till later, like me
Peasants
and a
can
bunch
wait.
of other people, which is good. Members deserve to have some extra content before the rest of us regular folk. You know, that's why you pay the big bucks of, I believe it's a
99p.
pound or like 99
Good.
cents, you
But
know?
I made a only cans update the other day, and then I always do my stuff under members only, even just for like 5 hours, just and I sent it to Craig, right? And obviously Craig's like my right hand man in the only cans team, and he's like, members only, and I'm like, what? No a member, like
I think that you and Craig should start a new segment of Only Cans where you go and try a bunch of different cans of beer and you
Well,
have like 6 or 8 cans of beer and you're like, on this episode of Only Cans, we're going to try can 10.
that's
This
kinda
is,
how it started. That's
I don't know, Craig, can you read this
no,
one? He's already
no,
passed it with
no,
pizza in his hand
no.
still.
We will get arrested. You've not seen Craig and I together when we're drunk. We are extremely dangerous. We are extremely cheeky.
Yeah.
And our banter is hilarious, which we think, but nobody else does. But that's how Only Can started because it was just me and Craig doing little podcasts, and he would have a can of Stella, and I would have a little can of whatever was on offer in Lidl's that week, alcoholic. And it lasted 2 weeks, and I'm like, I'm a healing channel can't come on drinking alcohol when there's people in recovery and that. Do you know what I mean? So we just quit that drinking thing, but we kept only cans, and then it went into the can thing, and da 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 da
I
da.
keep
Yeah,
saying I'm going to shoot a YouTube video of this is why you shouldn't drink a beer every 10 minutes for an hour
you
when
know
you
what I'd
haven't
love
had
to do?
alcohol for 7 years.
Oh, you don't drink either. That's the thing. I would like to, for a laugh, say we were done Jackbox, and it's like if you lost or you won, I would take a nip. But then imagine you were absolutely bladdered, and you're like, I was sick and like fell asleep with my face on the keyboard, and I'm still alive.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
happen to me. That kept happening to me
Well, no, that's
yesterday,
what I'm saying.
James.
I haven't had the alcohol in 6.5 years.
Well
So
done.
could you imagine what
That's
six
amazing.
cans of beer would do to me? I'd be a puking mess on the floor, praying to the
Absolutely.
porcelain gods,
Yeah.
hugging the toilet for its
Yeah.
coolness, going,
Yeah.
oh,
Uh,
alcohol's bad.
there's no fun in that, is there? That's why I stopped drinking because the hangovers were absolutely horrific, and I'm a
But
sick
it would
pair.
make for hilarious content.
I'm a puker. Yeah, totally. I'm dying for me and Craig to go out and ask people things like with our wee microphones that we've got. Um, that has to happen. That has to happen. But what I'm going to do, Jamesy, is I'm going to call this a day because we're at 52 minutes and 20
Yep.
seconds, and my bath is shouting on me, and I'm getting a bit tired. But I definitely am going to investigate a lot further on this quantum death thing. My
Yeah.
brain's definitely getting tired. But if anybody would like us to look into a particular topic or situation or something that you'd like us to maybe have a wee deep discussion about, like please do hit us up. Like we're totally open to things like that because I think that'd be a good idea. Um,
Most definitely.
is there
And
anything you would
just a
like to
final
end us
reminder
on?
for anyone out there that is struggling with addiction, we believe in you. You can get sober. You can get healthy
Yep.
if you are willing to put in the hard work. It's a lot easier than being an addict because we know as addicts that it's not easy. It's hard.
Yeah.
Uh, Trust me, it gets easier in time. Day one or one day, whether
Yeah.
you got a year behind your belt or whether you got an hour behind your belt, you're worth it. Just keep putting in the work.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
you're
Yeah.
loved and you're valuable and you're important. So thanks for
Absolutely.
being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
And for those that
And
aren't in recovery, and for those that are just dealing day to day, you're also amazing. We're all amazing. We're all tiny little bits of stardust. We are all connected. We've maybe just died and came back right tonight or tomorrow. Please don't attempt to try and find out if you're quantum leaping and all that, right? That was a telly program, it wasn't real. But no, if you do find anything, even documentaries, links, anything, send them to me because it is, yeah, timeline shifts like Deanne says. And Deanne says, oh no, I wanted to share my story. Can we revisit this, please? We certainly can, because it's
we most
definitely given
definitely
me.
will do Quantum Death Part 2. Maybe
Yeah,
Deanne would would like to come on the channel and say hello and
why
tell us her
don't you?
story.
Yeah, why don't you do that, Diane? If you're up for that, drop me a wee email on the addresses under my bio, I think, on the channel. If not, James will give you it. But yeah, I love you all.
Awesome.
You're all
Thank you,
amazing.
everyone. Seriously,